Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No, I didn't have to. Yep. Set a public hearing.
Good evening, McDonald's. Public hearing. Michael?
I have no comments on, I have no comments on this.
Rich?
All comments have been addressed. It's open for a public hearing.
Pat?
We have no comments on the bond return, Mr. Chairman.
Any comments?
No comments.
Okay. This is an open public hearing on McDonald's on bond return. Anybody in the audience wish to be heard?
Mr. Chairman, being there's no public comment, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we get a motion to recommend to town board the bond return?
I'll make a motion to recommend McDonald's USA Plot 55.11-1-41 to the town board.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Ronnie Property Group, public hearing on bond. Michael?
This is a bond reduction. I don't comment on bond reductions.
Rich?
This is a public hearing. There are still some outstanding items on the site, garbage enclosure and some landscaping. So we recommended the bond to be reduced versus fully returned per the applicant's request.
Pat?
No comments on the bond reduction, Mr. Chairman.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
Anything you want to say?
No, I don't.
And the bond's being reduced to how much, Rich?
I do not have my memo in front of me, but it was down to about 38,000 and change, if I recollect. I don't remember off the top of my head, though.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Just a minute. It's a public hearing on a bond return. Anybody in the audience wish to be heard? Can we get a motion?
Being there's no public comment, I make a motion we close the hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we get a motion to recommend it to the town board?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to refer Ronan Property Group, Plot 74.11-1-20 to the town board for the bond reduction.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Thank you very
Jack.
much.
Easter sales? This is a public hearing. Michael?
I have no comments at this time. They've all been addressed. They got their variances from the zoning board of appeals and addressed the fence issue with Vince. So I have no comments.
Rich?
All comments have been addressed, sir.
Pat?
Likewise, Mr. Chairman, all planning issues have been addressed. As Mike indicated, the issues with the fence were addressed in detail with you at the last meeting, so we have no further comments.
You have any comments?
Just briefly, Mr. Chair, my name is Lino Sciaretta, counsel for Easter Seals, New York. Just a quick recap, as your consultants have stated, we received a zoning variance since the last meeting. This is our third time here tonight, and just by way of background, Easter Seals is proposing a pre-K for special needs children at the site to accommodate 20 children and 10 adult staff. So what we have Mr. Mike Thompson here from JMC, if you'd like to review the site plan. If you deem to be necessary, again, we are in public hearing. What I would ask respectfully tonight, given the time constraints that we have at Easter Seals, we would respectfully request that tonight, if the board desires to do so, to close the public hearing and hopefully approve this project, understanding that you, Mr. Chairman, have to sign the resolution. This would just help us expedite things, given that we're on a time constraint with the county and just trying to get our facility up and running. So if you could respectfully accommodate us tonight in that request, we would greatly appreciate it. So thank you. And if you like, I have Mr. Thompson here to address the site plan if you so choose.
I really appreciate that. I finally got somebody to say something.
I drove a long way, so I had to say something.
This is an open public hearing. Anybody always wish to be heard?
Being there's no comment, I would make a motion, we close the public hearing.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I talked to the planner about that signing. I don't think anybody around the board have any objection to it be signed there.
Yeah, there are no special conditions, no unusual circumstances here, so you can consider that, Mr. Chairman. It's not an issue.
Anybody around the board got an objection to that? Going to sign the resolution waiting for another meeting to do it.
So you'll need a motion to approve and authorize the chairman to sign the resolution when it's prepared.
What's the resolution going to say?
Site plan approval.
Oh, it's going to say all of that?
That's about all it'll say, too.
So we need a motion to
We need a
approve.
Grant
motion
site
to
plan
do that.
approval.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to grant site plan approval of the Easter Seals, New York at 97 Old Route 6, Plot 55.11-1-23, 24, 25, and 27.
And authorize the chairman to execute the resolution when it's prepared.
And authorize the chairman to execute the resolution when it's prepared.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. You all have a happy holiday. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Kamala Associates. Michael?
All the necessary variances were granted by the Zoning Board of Appeals. I have no additional comments. I think this can move on to public hearing.
Rich?
I agree with Mike. There are no site improvements for the proposed project. The department does not have any additional comments related to the projects, as long as there are no changes being made to the site.
Pat?
Likewise, Mr. Chairman, no objection to moving this to the public hearing stage.
Good evening.
You all set over there?
I'm all set to sit down.
Good. We'll schedule a public hearing.
Thank you, and I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You
Thank you
too.
very much. And also, if possible, can we have a resolution, if that's possible?
But,
There's no changes, the site's staying exactly as it is.
well, we'll consider that, but
Okay.
wait a minute, before we consider that now, since you said that. Anybody around the board looking at that map, have any comments, anything?
I have just a couple of questions. Your proposal, what is there was the area that was the office. What are you proposing for that?
That's, the zoning board had granted a variance to convert that from an office to a studio apartment.
When was that granted, that variance?
October 26th, I believe. October 26th.
Because when I read the meeting minutes from the zoning board, unless I was misreading it, I read that they removed the part of the condition that said, once the property's sold, then it will no,
That was
That was in Christmas time, I believe.
That was right. In December of 2016, apparently what had happened was many years ago, the zoning board put conditions which the zoning board then changed on December of 2016.
Right.
It was basically saying that the previous variance, I think, was back in the 80s. Just in the 80s, right? It was, well, it doesn't make any difference what it was. They said that they granted the variances, however, as soon as the property was sold, all the variances were voided. But back in December of 2016, that was changed.
What happens is they made them personal,
You can't do that.
and they can't do personal variances. It
got
has to
that,
be
but-
to the land, not to the person.
right, but it was an office. So when was a variance granted to convert it from an office to an apartment?
October 26th, just the last zoning board meeting.
Okay, October of this year.
October of 2007, I'm sorry, October of 2007.
All right, I apologize. I
Thank
didn't-
you
I
very
didn't
much,
get
Mr.
that.
Chairman, and we will see you at the, oh, do you know when your next meeting is, by chance?
Since you made your comments, you've got to wait to see if any more board members have anything else to say.
I'm sorry.
Anybody else got any questions?
No, you're not gonna do it.
Joe, there
Yes.
was, some time ago, other things proposed for this site, right? You withdrew them earlier on. This came a couple months ago.
No, basically, the zoning board was to legalize the two-family house. The accessory apartment, that was approved back in December of 2016. And then the conversion of the office to a studio apartment, that was done in October 26. So the variance to keep the two-family house and to convert that was October 26th. And the other one regarding the accessory apartment, that was done back in December of 2016.
And that is not an accessory apartment, that is
It's
a
right.
accessory dwelling unit. It's not,
Right,
the owner has to live on the site. It's not an owner-occupied site.
And does the main building, I remember there was some discussion about whether it complied with the fire code or,
We won't know that until we get the building permit. That's
Yeah,
next step.
once we get the site plan approval, we'll apply for the building permit, and Mike will tell us if there's anything that has to be brought up to code.
Pat, you remember when this first came in, why these questions are being asked? That night was quite a meeting on this project.
It was.
Because there were so many things that was not understood.
That's right.
Until we sent him away. Now he's back, we're gonna send him away again, but we'll make sure that it's not like it was before. And everything's okay from the consultant's point of view.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. And again, the zoning board clarified all of those issues of use.
That's where, yeah, I'm fine with that now. That's, my point was we sent them away a couple times, and we could
Yeah.
clarify with the zoning
But
board.
essentially, we're putting 4 units on this property now, right?
That's correct. Which are there
And have-
currently.
have
They're-
been there
It's
for
just that it was supposed to be one, and then an office. And then it turned into 2, 1, and then an office. So we had to go to the zoning board for the variance, and he did, and he got it.
Right, so it's all residential now, right?
Correct.
So this is completely residential.
Exactly.
It's completely residential.
And this is
Instead of
not,
being a mixed use, they considered this more restrictive, is that the word? More restrictive, by making it all the same use.
yeah, and this is not a owner occupied, right? This is
Correct.
all rental.
Right.
Do we have any issues with violations on this property?
Just that the additional unit was the only violation that we know of at the time, at this time,
Still a violation?
until they get this
Till they get this
legalized
worked
through
out,
this
right.
board. That's what they're here for, clear up that additional unit.
And I think we talked about finding other properties in this area that have similar,
At the public
Similar
hearing, I
situations,
have
right?
Actually, I've done that already, if you want to take a look. We prepared a map of the area, this being our site right over here, and we've listed all of the multifamily houses along Fair Street. So half are owner occupied, half aren't, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Just use the microphone, Joe.
7, 8, about 10 of them within, within a.
right, on Fair Street, which is really kind of a commercial road anyway, right? It's
Yeah, so that's the same map that Mr. Barnwell just gave you, and it lists all of the multifamily houses.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issue pending public hearing, right? I would say, so long as your public hearing goes smooth,
Yeah.
it should be okay, right?
Yeah, actually, just as long as you mentioned that, when we went before the zoning board, obviously, all the neighbors within 500 feet were notified, and nobody showed up, so we'll see.
Knock on wood.
What were the variances offered? Was there anything related to parking, now that there's 4 units there?
He modified his parking layout. I think he's now
Okay.
compliant.
He's in compliance, all right.
I'll ask.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, before you, since we're going to have the situation at the next meeting, is it possible to waive the public hearing since we had no comments from any of the neighbors at the zoning board?
Now, Joe, I don't have to answer that. You answer it publicly. You know what I'm going to say, right?
I know, but I did ask. What's
We're
that?
going to schedule a public hearing.
All right, thank you very much. And also, do you know when the next meeting is going to be held?
December 13th.
Thank you very much. Just want to make sure we
I mean, just one last
notify
comment.
neighbors within the proper time
One
limit.
last comment before you go. I mean, this is Fair Street, and it's zoned residential, right?
Yes.
It's like everything else, right? We have this blanket zoning in town. It's one of those spots that really probably should be rezoned more than we should be running around getting a bunch of variances.
But what do you
But we
rezoning?
only have,
'Cause
we can
you
only do
have
what's in front of us,
But you
right?
have so much
What are-
there, how are you going to rezone it?
Golf course.
Right.
You have all these different, a school, you have all these different offices on the top. There's a lot there.
Yeah, we no longer have that hierarchy that provides the
Yeah,
menu
this,
of
you have this kind of
choices.
blanket zoning around the town, so we only can kind of deal with what's in front of us, right? So
Correct.
that's, and the location of where it is, that's why I don't really have too many objections to it.
No,
you
it's-
know,
as I
in
said,
general,
if you
because
look at
it's
the
on
map,
Fair
that-
Street.
you can see that there's a multitude of multifamilies.
And you did what I asked, which was show me who's there, and I'm,
And as you can see too, the landscaping, the places kept in the map.
yeah, I went by, it looks pretty, it looks
It
pretty nice.
looks
all in all.
excellent, yes. Okay. All right, well, thank you very much. We'll see you on the 13th.
Thank you.
Have a great, hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and if there's any holidays in between, enjoy them.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Joe.
Is that for the file?
Oh, do we need this for the file?
Yeah, let's leave it, yeah.
Since he handed it in, I would, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Joseph. The Colonial Park Associates extension of lot line adjustment.
Hi,
Are you still here?
I'm still here.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. This was a lot line change that you, oh, I'm sorry. You're right, I forgot.
I have no objection to the extension of lot line adjustment approval.
Rich?
No objection to the extension. The drawing will need to be signed by the owners, because that's what it's supposed to be, owner's approval.
It has been signed, it's been signed.
Pat?
Likewise, Mr. Chairman, we don't have an objection to the extension request.
Just for the record, the reason we need the extension is that we're waiting for the map to be signed by the Health Department. I just got a call from Mike Budzinski, it's going to be signed tomorrow, but we're a few days late, obviously, so we need the extension.
Any questions from the board?
That was my question, why, you answered.
I answered it.
Yeah, because when I look back, I noticed that on May 10th you were here, and we said, oh, we'll schedule the public hearing at that time. So the holdup has been the health
Well,
department?
basically, well, a little bit of the survey, a little bit of the Health Department, but it's all resolved now.
So you won't be back again for another extension?
We filed in the county clerk's office very soon.
Knock on wood.
Any more questions? We need a motion?
I'll make a motion that we extend a lot line extension for, a lot line adjustment for Lynx, Joseph, and Linda at Colonial Park Associates, lot number 75.42-1-46 and 47.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Joe.
much.
Joe. Joe? Next one to the last
Yeah.
there.
Mike had
Thing came to
20,
the
didn't
vote.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm good at that.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's so clean.
You didn't pick a good night to show up. Sorry about that.
No,
If you want, give me a call, I'll tell you when there's gonna be
whittled
good.
it down from where it was, and it's a lot clearer now. Have faith in the process.
But you know, the thing of it is.
Quiet night.
what he's talking
Much to
about,
observe tonight.
that's big.
Come on, good.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the lot line, you're talking about the,
This one.
oh,
It's all residential.
yeah.
Plus it's been in front of the zoning board twice.
It's a less intensive use. It's been, I was stunned that they got, I don't want to say everything on camera here, but I was really amazed that they got what they did from the zoning board. They gave them that.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Cause you know something, I thought it wouldn't say anything else, but except when Joel said, he always says something that triggers something. He says, I count all these places along here. That doesn't make it right.
No,
Hey,
it
Joe,
doesn't.
It makes it
It
wrong
doesn't, but
most of the
it's,
time.
you want to
we're
cut,
still on, right?
Yes, yeah, we're still on the minutes.
you want him to cut, Harold?
Let him do minutes.
You have to do minutes.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, I'll offer the meeting minutes of the Planning Board of October 11, 2017.
Okay.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
See you before Christmas.
December, what did you
December
say?
13th.
13.
Now I'll tell them.
Hey, everybody can go, but I still want